Hello everyone, this is Bel'shir here to bring you match 3 in this best of 3 versus Socke in the top left as the cyan Protoss and Acro in the bottom right as the green Protoss. The map is Bel'shir Vestige. I think this is the ESL version. By the way, I just want to point out that Acro has the swarm or brood or whatever it is decals. Don't know why that's important, just a personal choice of his. I personally have the Protoss ones for every single one of my races, so hey, whatever, not totally important anyways. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put that timeline down. You didn't see that, folks. You did not see. There was nothing there. Was not there. I could restart. I will not. Whatever, let's keep going. Either way, this game is going to be number 3. Acro took the first game with his Phoenix Stalker. Socke took the second game, basically turning the tides of what looked like certain defeat with a brilliant drop and a powerful push. And yeah, so who knows what quite to expect in Game 3. All I know is that the macro and micro will be intense, and the ideas and strategy will be things I've never even heard of. And that, well, unless one of them just like 4 gates or something, right? But yeah, so this is going to be interesting. There's a lot to learn from pro-level gays. Okay, that was not intentional. Pro-level games sort of had a Freudian slip, perhaps. Well, not Freudian. I don't actually like Freud at all. I think that everything that Freud says is, Mom? Okay, I definitely need to learn a little bit more about Acro. It would be hilarious if he was like a 13-year-old kid or something. Of course, on the other hand, I think you have to be 17 to be a pro-level gamer at least, so who knows. Either way, as I was saying, I think Freud basically just completely BS'd every single person in the world, and like nothing he says has any use. And while I recognize that his thoughts and advances certainly did bring modern psychology into existence, he really didn't accomplish much. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of probe harassment there. I've always wondered exactly how much is that worth. I understand that in a pro-level game, sometimes things are determined by the smallest of amounts, and he actually did manage to harass a mineral field to delay just the slightest bit of income, meaning that some things are going to be a little bit later, but how much he actually was able to do is a little bit of a question. And this probe, why is this probe sitting idle? What is its purpose? I feel like that probe is to prevent any sort of proxy pylon from coming down in that area, or he just totally forgot. I hope he didn't totally forget, because that would just be ridiculous. Oh, I've never even heard of a pro-level player. What is wrong with me today? Freudian slip after Freudian slip. Never even heard of a pro-level player forgetting a probe. That's just not something that happens. Of course, on the other hand, that probe there is just going to be taken out immediately, not able to escape. Boom! It goes down. Not much you can do. But versus a pro-level player, they just have that sixth sense for knowing where everything is going to be. Makes me wonder if a pro-level player is ever like, okay, I know exactly what they're going to do, and I got to do the exact opposite. I got to do something so stupid they wouldn't even think to scout it. That's totally, if I ever am playing on a league this high, that's totally what I'm going to do. I mean, like, alright, now this is exactly what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to do the opposite. You know? I don't know. It's just, it's that sixth sense you get by knowing precisely what your opponent is doing at all times. I honestly start to feel like I sort of get that versus Terran a lot, where I just know precisely, okay, now they've got Vikings, and now they're sending a drop into my main, and I just know that it's happening. Or that it at least should be happening at roughly this time. And so I'm ready for it, or at least, watching my mini-map with interest, as opposed to just, trying to macro up, more important. Now, the question is whether that's a word in German. I assume that's German. I don't know why I assume it's German, but I do. So, whether that's a word in German, or whether he's talking about his mother. don't know. That scout is going to get everything off. Not really a huge amount here that's really surprising. The blink, of course, is an important choice that you have to worry about a bit. But, cough there. But honestly, I don't think that Socke is going to have too much trouble with this. On the other hand, with that proxy pylon coming down, it'll be a little bit interesting what is going to go on. This is actually a very common occurrence for you to see one Protoss player go for Blink Stalker and another to go for Robotics and Immortal Tech. Of course, the Robotics player has the strong advantage in the, basically in the original confrontation, but has a much stronger advantage in the but has not quite the advantage in mobility, because you won't have as strong a gateway army, and Immortals are not nearly as fast as Stalkers, especially Blink Stalkers, meaning these Stalkers, yep, and here you go, they're going to be just coming right up here, spots that Mothership Core, but he's going sort of the wrong direction if he's not careful. And of course, with these pylons coming down, basically Acro is going to be able to strike from almost any direction at once. And that, basically his movement speed, especially with those Blink Stalkers, is almost better than Socke's. But Socke with those Immortals, something you always have to remember is that if these guys engage, Acro is going to lose a lot. Here comes the engagement. There's the Time Warp coming down. There's the force fields there. Going to be preventing those Stalkers really from re-engaging. They are forced to run out. They do get a good amount of the damage there, but they are going to be coming right back in. This is going to be sort of an interesting battle. Basically, he wants to be able to take care of that Nexus without losing too much of anything. Socke needs to be careful about not going out of position. All of a sudden, there's too many Blink Stalkers here almost. Does he have enough? Can he even deal with this? Is the question. I feel like he just lost it. Yeah, he did lose an Immortal. Those Immortals are strong, but Blink Stalkers are good. You need to be careful in this position. That Mothership Core able to help him out quite a bit with the Photon Overcharge there. Not really something to be too afraid of, though. I don't feel eventually. Yep, there we go. Going to be braving that Overcharge. Get a little bit of information out on the scout. Without his Mothership Core, though, he is not able to blink up onto the high ground over here. That is a problem. All of a sudden, it looks like this is just going to be a one-base Blink Stalker all in. Yeah, he is not trying for anything else, and I feel like that might, just might, give Socke the advantage here. I mean, if he can establish that base, he can get up some more production, he will definitely be able to push this back, as it is 1-2-2, or one base, 2-2 bases. Nevertheless, this battle is going to rage here as he does try to push them back. Don't know if he's going to be quite able to do it. Yes, he does. Manages to get that pylon. This is going to mean that these Stalkers are going to be pushed back to their other proxies down here. Mean reinforcements going to be a little slower to arrive. Here is the engagement. They blink onto them. Oh my gosh, will this work? Who's going to win this battle? It's so difficult to even tell, but it was Socke. Those Immortals just too good. I don't know how Acro is going to even be able to handle this, losing his Mothership Core for the second time. You have to remember, those cores can't really make it across the map that quickly. And all of a sudden, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have much on that base, but he has that base. And that is an advantage you really can't deny. You gotta be careful. Try not to lose that Mothership Core there. There's those blinks back. Almost loses it. Not quite. Going to be wanting to try and increase his probe count down there if he can. He is starting to bank a little bit. I feel like he could spend just a tad bit on those probes. Might help him out a little bit. Otherwise, he's not all that far ahead of Socke, or Acro. All of a sudden, those Immortals miss microing, hitting on those Zealots, not what you want to be doing. On the other hand, even if they are able to take this out, at what cost, as he loses absolutely everything to take care of those two Immortals? The question is whether that'll be enough. I don't think it will be. We do have a proxy over here and a couple of Zealots for almost forgotten. Basically, there's nothing for them to attack. They're not even caring. They're just sort of barely warping in there, spending a little bit of time. That extra Immortal there just providing that little bit of power that he needs. I don't think Acro is going to be able to even pull this off. He does not have the income to really keep this up. Now that we have Zealots running into the main base, all of a sudden Acro realizes he's made a huge mistake having no defense at home whatsoever. Can he even warp in? There we go. There's a warp in coming down, but it's a single Zealot versus 3. Not going, unless even with all those probes, it will not be enough. He needs to probably get a Stalker down there, I think, almost. Or maybe it will be enough. Maybe I am totally wrong. I feel like I missed a couple of warp-ins happening. Nevertheless, there's the GG from Acro. No idea what he just said. Wish I spoke German. Not sure that is German, but I still wish I spoke German anyway. So that was the game, and what a game it was. The thing about Blink Stalkers, no matter how good they are, is you gotta be careful. Immortals are very, very powerful. And yeah, if you have no defense at home, just nothing there, this is what happens. Anyways, I'm FD Viva Direg.